Hi everyone, I'm Alejandro Manso, and I'm the Liturgy and Music Director here at Visitation Church. Since the choir has not been able to commune together and participate in our Sunday liturgies, I just wanted to take a moment and talk a little bit about this Sunday's Gospel and share a recording of the Visitation Choir in hopes that it might help you pray along with the readings. This Sunday is the fifth Sunday of Lent, and we hear from John's Gospel the story of Jesus raising Lazarus from the dead. Now, this Gospel is actually a little lengthy. There's a long version and a short version. I'm not sure which version Father Brad will use this Sunday. But regardless, I'm just going to talk about one part of that Gospel, and that is the part where Jesus arrives in Bethany from Jerusalem after Lazarus has already died. And Martha, the sister of Lazarus, greets Jesus and perhaps maybe a little frustrated, maybe upset, and says to Jesus, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." And Jesus says to her, "Your brother will rise." And she says, "Yes, I know he'll rise in the resurrection on the last day." And Jesus says to her, almost as if she doesn't quite fully understand, he says, "I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, even if he dies, will live. And everyone who lives and believes in me will never die." And then Jesus asks Martha, "Do you believe this?" And I think there is the point where all of us have to face that question. Do you believe this? And do we have trust and faith in what Jesus' death and resurrection has to offer us? So I leave you with this recording of the Visitation Choir, taken a few years ago actually, and it's a piece called "In My Father's House" by Philip Stopford, an English composer. Now, the text of this choral piece is actually taken from a later chapter in John, so not this weekend's gospel text, but it's the gospel where Jesus is preparing his disciples for a time when he will no longer be with them because he knows of his passion and death. And he says to his disciples, "I'm going to prepare a place for you." So, very much like this Sunday's gospel, it speaks to having faith in what Jesus offers. And that's everlasting life. So, here's the Visitation Choir singing "In My Father's House" by Philip Stopford.